Lalit Modi knows more about this. And he says, I'm celebrating, and he's joining me from London tonight. Lalit Modi, what are you celebrating? I saw your tweet there. You say, I'm extremely happy with the judgment, etc., etc. You stand vindicated. What do you stand vindicated for, Mr. Modi?
I stand vindicated. I've been telling you for the last few years that the death blow to cricket is betting, and and BCCI was doing nothing about it. I think the Supreme Court has paved the way for this not to happen and to clean up cricket. They have now formed a 3-member committee to go out there and make sure that the cricket is cleaned up once and for all.
Mr. Modi, Mr. Modi, you present yourself as a crusader for cleaning up of the IPL, but the IPL needs cleaning up because you were at the helm of affairs when the mess that the IPL is in today began.
Not while my watch was on, very clearly, and I can tell you that again and again, and I keep telling you that again and again. You keep coming it back to me, and I
because
keep telling
it is the reality, Mr. Modi.
While I was the reality is when I ran the ship, there was no problem. And the reality is that the ship started to sink and started to go down the sinking path only when I wasn't on the helm of affairs, and it became
that's a
club of.
That's
club
most.
Of
you don't even sound convinced. You don't even sound convinced when you are saying that. So, Mr. Modi, my problem is with the Cosy Club, and my argument there is you can't be crying vindication today. Because I'm sorry to say this to you again and again, somehow you don't seem to get it. You were as much part of this Cosy Club, Mr. Modi, as your ex-mentor, Mr. Srinivasan.
Again, I keep telling you, I am the one who set it up to make sure that it works, and it worked all the way through. There was no fixing in my time.
Mr. Modi, Mr. Modi, I understand this well. I have studied it too.
No, Arnab, I don't think you understand.
I understand it pretty well.
That wanted me out of there to make sure that they can do what they want.
Mr. Modi, the Supreme Court today has struck down clause 6.2.4 that effectively allowed, and allow me to complete. Allow me to complete.
Yes.
Will you not allow me to complete, Mr. Modi?
Please go ahead.
Thank you. The Supreme Court struck down clause 6.2.4 that effectively allowed for a conflict of interest. This law came into effect, came into being when a man called Lalit Modi was at the helm of affairs in the IPL. Now the fact is, he is saying today I'm vindicated, but he didn't act then when he should have, Mr. Modi. So don't cry vindication now, because the Supreme Court has managed to do what you could have done then but did not. You were IPL commissioner.
At that point in time, I was
IPL commissioner.
I was one of the few voices on the board.
You were the commissioner of the IPL.
If I was able to do it,
you were commissioner of the IPL.
I started to do that.
You were commissioner of the IPL, Mr. Modi.
And when I saw interference by...
No, interference in what sense, Mr. Modi?
I decided at that point in time that
you made the change. You started the corruption.
At that point in time that we have to come out.
You started the corruption.
When I started, you may say what you want. When I started, we did not know where we were going.
Really? So that's like a person saying I was part of the murder. I didn't know the person would die. I was simply trying to stab them hard. Mr. Modi, your job is to build ratings and to go after me. My job is to ask the questions.
I built the IPL, and yes, every time there was a problem, we changed and we moved along.
Today actually,
after I left, and
today actually, no, Mr. Modi.
Sorry, you can.
Mr. Modi, you can't be crying vindication today. You can't be crying vindication today when you have admitted.
If I hadn't gone after them and started to expose them,
you didn't go after them. You went after them when they forced you out of the country. When did you go after them?
Because they forced me out. Why did they force me out? Because they wanted to make sure.
Because you all fell apart.
And indulge in betting and indulge in an unscrupulous way.
And you said now they're trying to kill me.
And I wasn't allowing that
Mr. Modi.
And that's what happened.
Mr. Modi, today Srinivasan's gone right. And a point tonight, I put this question to the test. I ask all the viewers tonight to call in and tell us whether that Cosy Club, which has cheated the Indian cricket fan, should be done away with for good. And Mr. Modi, you are part of that cozy club. My next question to you is, you can't be claiming vindication.
I was a newcomer.
You are part of that cozy club, Mr.
I was
Modi.
never part of the cozy club.
You have
say what you have to. The truth speaks for itself.
Yes, let the truth speak for itself, Mr. Modi.
Why do you
Mr. Modi,
every time out here?
Mr. Modi, did you admit
that I am right? You know, like you like to have a debate.
Mr. Modi, did you admit that you and other BCCI officials backdated documents at the annual general meeting in 2008 to enable a change in the BCCI rules and regulations that allowed players to own IPL teams?
Mr. Niranjan Shah backdated the documents, and this is what came to light. And at that meeting, yes,
that's a lie.
We were all guilty of the fact
How can you lie so openly?
And that was about
Sometimes you surprise me, Mr. Modi, at the way you lie so openly and directly.
I don't lie openly.
And now you're laughing nervously.
I am an open book. Because I am.
Mr. Modi, this is what you said.
I said up front.
You want me to quote you?
I've always been up front, and you know very well.
You want me to quote you?
You have an axe to grind.
I have no axe to grind.
Please quote me. Yes.
I have no axe to grind vis-a-vis you, Mr. Modi. My question is, on November 28th, a person called Lalit Modi said, and I quote, please, quote, "The minute we realized conflict of interest was becoming an issue, we tried to do away with it in 2009. And he went on to say,
without doubt, we tried to do away with it.
So, Mr. Modi, let me complete. Let me complete.
Not bury it under the table.
Let me read the next sentence. Let people know what you did.
Find the problem to deal with the problem. That's what.
Let me read the next sentence, Mr. Modi.
When there is a problem, you deal with it.
Mr. Modi, the next sentence is.
And sweep it under the carpet. I'm sorry, I don't agree with you, and I don't have to agree with you.
Mr. Modi,
my point is very clear. When
Mr. Modi, the next sentence you said we had backdated.
It's not about me. It's.
Mr. Modi, the next sentence you said we had backdated those documents in 2008 to before the AGM. We did not expect this would become an issue. We thought we would all look into the future problems and correct them going forward. When I started to voice these issues, they removed
I didn't say,
That's proof.
Excuse me. I did not say I backdated the documents. We came to know that the documents were.
You said we.
We means the BCCI.
Yeah, you were part of the BCCI. You were the IPL commissioner.
I was part of the BCCI, so I cannot deny that at that point in time.
So Mr. Modi, that's where.
Responsibility for that fact.
So Mr. Modi, now that my next question. Now my next question is, let me read out what the Supreme Court has said today, Mr. Modi, about clause 6.2.4 being the villain. Because you say axe to grind. The only axe to grind I have against you is that here is a person called Lalit Modi. Each time and every time he says, I am celebrating, I have cleaned up Indian cricket. The amendment was made when you were running the IPL. The amendment that allowed Mr. Srinivasan to own Chennai Super Kings.
Nobody else has stood behind and
the amendment that allowed Mr. Srinivasan to own Chennai Super Kings. Come on, Mr. Modi. Just make the admission now.
Come on, the amendment. You are saying this because today you always have an issue to bring it back to me. It's not about me. Why don't we
bring it back to you? I don't care whether it's you or Mr. Srinivasan, Mr. Modi. I don't care two hoots whether it's you or Mr. Srinivasan. I'm talking about the Indian cricket fan, and I feel all of you got together to cheat the Indian cricket fan. And then you fell apart.
No, I'm sorry. We did not get.
And you're sitting in London fighting Srinivasan and Chennai.
I had no role to play in that. I had absolutely no role to play in it. It's the people who got together to take me out who had a role to play in it.
Really, those people were your friends. Those people were your benefactors.
For the last 5 years.
Those people were the people who helped you. Those people were a self-serving cozy club that runs Indian cricket.
Oh no!
So, Mr.
I don't think you know the history well enough.
So, Mr. Modi, I know the history well enough to know that you have been accused by Mr. Kapil Sibal. You have been accused by Mr. Kapil Sibal.
You only come on to the show, and when the issue has come to light. But I have been dealing with on a daily basis.
So, Mr. Modi, I'm sorry, but there are a few more important issues in this country than only the BCCI. But you have been accused by Kapil Sibal, N Srinivasan's counsel, for approaching Srinivasan for buying a team. No, let us lay it bare tonight. Let us put it all bare tonight. Did you approach Srinivasan to buy a team? Why would you do it, Mr. Modi?
To buy a team.
Why would you do it, Mr. Modi?
Srinivasan to buy a team.
Why would you do it, Mr. Modi?
I did not approach Srinivasan because I did not approach him. He would be bid for a team. There were only 11 bidders, and he wanted. In fact, he was the first one who opposed the IPL
Mr. Modi, Sibal argued that Srinivasan's purchase, I'm reading, of Chennai Super Kings came about because former IPL chairman Lalit Modi asked him to do it because there were not enough buyers lined up for the city-based franchisees.
1 minute, hold on. Why
What
don't you
hold
read
on?
The whole context?
Sibbal argued that Pawar had cleared the legalities for Srinivasan and informed him that as India Cements is a private company, Srinivasan could make a bid for the team. So Sharad Pawar, Lalit Modi, N Srinivasan, hunky-dory, run this game as if it is their damn private property, then fall apart. It's your problem. You're a face of the Cosy club, Mr. Lalit Modi. And you must make that admission tonight that you are.
I never listened. I did everything that was right. I was never
You did
part of the
everything
club
that was right.
I did not.
So what was Sharad Pawar's role in amending the clause?
They got together.
What was Sharad Pawar's role in amending the clause? Did you approach Sharad Pawar?
It was no role of Mr. The role.
Did you approach Sharad Pawar?
The role was that of Mr. Srinivasan, the treasurer. The role was that of the secretary.
Did you approach Sharad Pawar?
Niranjan Shah.
Did you approach Sharad Pawar?
I did not approach him.
Did you have a word with Sharad Pawar about bringing in this amendment?
I did not have a word at all with him on this issue at all.
Should Sharad Pawar be as answerable for this mess? Was he as party to this decision as you were?
All 31 members of party to the decision. So, there's no two questions about that. We take only that. The issue is not that.
By the way, Lalit Modi, you're part of the Cosy Club for many other reasons. Viewers, if you're watching this tonight, you can call in at some time and tell us whether you think Lalit Modi was part of the Cosy Club. Lalit Modi has promised to stay on in the debate. Mr. Lalit Modi, life is wonderful, right? Series of wonderful coincidences, including the coincidence. I'm welcoming the other panelists right now. Suman Siraman, C. Rajashekharan, Atul Vasan, Bimal Soni, Shailendra Singh, Charu Sharma, Kishore Bimani, V. Krishnaswamy, Gulu Ezekiel, Sadbin Jung and Shishir Hadangadi. Lalit Modi, don't go away. My next question to you, Lalit Modi, is your brother has a stake in Rajasthan Royals, a team that is now under scrutiny over the actions of Raj Kundra. Is that also a coincidence?
Rajasthan Royals should be sacked. I've been saying that.
Is that a coincidence?
There should be no. There's no coincidence.
Is that a coincidence?
Once, excuse me.
How is it that your brother-in-law? How is it that the Jaipur team was bought by the UK-based company Emerging Media for $67 million to own the team for a period of 10 years?
There should be zero tolerance on fixing.
Is Suresh Chelaram your brother-in-law?
I've been saying that very clearly.
Is Suresh Chelaram your brother-in-law?
They should be sacked.
Is Suresh Chelaram your brother-in-law?
Yes, he is.
So how is it that Suresh Chelaram and a Nigeria-based businessman have 44.1% stake in the company Emerging Media, which has a stake in Rajasthan Royals?
He bought it legally so. But point is that he bought it legally so. But the point is not his. The point is that the team
be careful, Mr. Modi. Now you're going to get into quicksand. The brother of your stepson-in-law owned a stake in Kings 11 Punjab, right or wrong?
Listen, I don't know what you're talking about. You're just going into right or wrong. Are you trying
I'm talking about Kings 11 Punjab as of 2010, bought by Preeti Zinta, Nes Wadia, along with Karan Paul, Mohit Barman for $76 million.
You can carry on asking any question you want, but you're going off the tangent. We're talking about the issue that is on hand as far as we are concerned on the verdict today. But you like to deviate, but you can.
I don't try to deviate. I'm just saying tonight, is he the hero? So, Mr. Modi, you have to take the questions. We are opening up for debate. Is he the hero tonight?
I am trying to take any question.
Okay, is he the hero? Charu Sharma, Kishore Bimani, is Lalit Modi the hero? Gulu Ezekiel first. Your old friend Gulu Ezekiel is on the program tonight. Is Lalit Modi the hero? Is Lalit Modi the hero? The crusader that he's making himself out to be. Certainly Srinivasan is not, but is Lalit Modi the hero? Gulu.
Actually, Arnab, he's the zero. The fact is, you've had various ex-officials of the BCCI on your channel over the last few hours gloating over their so-called victory. One was Mr. Sharad Pawar, who happened to be the president when the clause was changed in 2008. The other was Mr. I.S. Bindra, who happened to be one of the vice presidents. And of course, Mr. Lalit Modi, who is a fugitive from the law, hiding out in London for the last 5 years, was one of the joint secretaries.
Listen, if you want to go to
now, all these guys are gloating and talking about a great victory for Indian cricket.
Fugitive, then you should be very clear about the fact that I have not been hiding anywhere, and I've been very clear about that, and I've won every case of mine.
We all know that. We all know your passport has been impounded, Lalit. So there's no hiding the facts.
Impounded where? It's been given back to me out by the Honorable Supreme Court. I don't think you understand what has happened. And you keep going back into something that you have no idea about.
You've been pulling strings from London. You've been backing your own Cosy club.
If I have that much power to pull strings from London, then what are you doing sitting out there not able to do anything out there?
You have lots of power. You have lots of power which goes to your head, and you think you're the savior of Indian cricket when actually you're the destruction of Indian cricket, because it was your brainchild which you were so proud of, this corrupt entity known as IPL.
Yes, it is my brainchild, and I am proud of it. And I will continue to be proud of it, whether you like it or not. Otherwise, you would be sitting in this program discussing it in the first place.
You made very sure that your relatives were planted in various franchises of your brainchild, so that you could create a nice family business, which has been exposed by Arnab, and there's no backing out on that. From the very beginning, the entire structure of the IPL was like a pack of cards.
Give me a break.
It was a pack of cards. It was deliberately created to make it a nice family business. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, including fixing the auction in 2009 to get Andrew Flintoff to play for Chennai Super Kings, and writing mails, dear Srinivasan, love Lalit. All that is on record, Lalit, and we all know about it, and there's no hiding from that. You can hide from the law, but you can't hide from the facts.
You're putting that all out of context.
Okay, there's no context.
It was in the scheme of a larger thing that had to get the league going. I'm sorry.
Lalit. And it's very cowardly of you to hide behind the scenes and pull strings and then send out gloating quotes.
I don't hide behind the scenes, and I'm never cowardly.
Face to face with your accusers. You were pushed out by your former buddies. You were pushed out by your former buddies with whom you are. I will say what I want to, and you will also say what you want to, but the viewer will decide, and the viewer has decided also, the Supreme Court has also decided, and the original sin was the creation of a pack of cards which would allow all kinds of corruption and all kinds of hanky-panky to get into Indian cricket and destroy Indian cricket. And as long as your brainchild was bringing in the moolah, you were gloating over it. But once the pack of cards collapsed and you were kicked out, suddenly you became an enemy of the same friends who you were hand in glove with. So, this is complete humbug and hypocrisy on your part to sit over there gloating away like a Cheshire cat.
I don't need to answer to you. I don't need to answer to you anyway. We will let you say what you have to.
No, of course not. You don't have to answer to anybody except your conscience. You don't have to answer to anybody except your conscience, which is obviously non-existent.
I am very happy to answer to my conscience because I know what I did.
Which is non-existent.
I don't need to answer to you because
your conscience
you have been against.
You don't have to.
Everyone needs to answer. If I may come in, please. 1 second.
You have been
Lalit Modi, 1 second.
Look at your conduct.
Mr. Modi, everyone needs to answer tonight. I'm saying everyone needs to answer. And you know who they need to answer to, Mr. Modi? You know who they need to answer to?
They have to answer to the fans.
No, I say they answer to the fans.
To the fans.
To the fans who've been cheated the most, to the fans.
To answer to the fans. And
of course to the fans. Krishna Swami.
The fans. And
yeah, so fact of the matter is, Mr. Modi, and let's everyone come in. Today we've got a big panel. I'm saying tonight that the fact of the matter is those who have run Indian cricket have betrayed the Indian cricket fan. And the Supreme Court judgment captures how this cheating has unfolded. Krishna Swami.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think the Supreme Court today has exposed this Cosy club like never ever before. I mean, and cricket has actually never been clean by itself. For the last 30, 40 years, regardless of who you bring in, they're all part of the same Cosy club. They are the guys who decide where the next match will be held. They are the guys who decide who the next manager will be. They are the guys who decide who the next coach is going to be. They are the guys who decide who's going to head the NCA. They are the guys who decide everything. And in return, they get their votes. They dole out millions or hundreds and thousands of crores to all these state federations.
Yeah.
They're all very much a part of it. Why do they get into it? And these are the same guys who then run businesses which benefit themselves, because half of them are running, some of them are running a business of a travel agency, some of them are running something else.
Somebody's running a party circuit, somebody's doing this and that.
Same cricket. So somebody helps this. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You give me a vote, I become the president, I become the secretary, I become the treasurer. We all stay same there. Today I'm the secretary, tomorrow I'll be the president, and day after I'll be the patron, and so on. You got to be a fool not to see this through. And finally, I think the apex court put its foot down, and I think what they've done today is a landmark in Indian sport, not just cricket. And I think if this can happen in cricket, God help the other sports. They should all be brought under RTI, they should all be brought under the Indian Penal Code, and they should be made to serve, and they should be really penalized.
Krishna Swami, this is an opportunity tonight. The opportunity is to get back the control of Indian cricket, snatch it away from this administrator, politician lobby.
No question about that. No question
snatch it away, because there has been a conspiracy of silence.
How can you have people running?
Yes, been.
How can you have managers and coaches running own management business over the same players that they are going to select or not select?
Point is
this
taken.
happens not just on the national level, it also happens at the state level.
Shailendra
and
wants...
if anybody speaks, as Atul Vasan would know, he's been through the entire rigor of cricket from the lowest level to the highest level, that if you are not in right with the right guys, you can never play for the team that you want to. Otherwise, you just stay out and your dreams will stay dreams. In fact, they'll be shattered to smithereens.
Yes, and nobody has the guts to speak up. I'm coming to you, Shailendra. But tonight, really, I was hoping that Suman C. Raman would see reason. He's a sports commentator. But he appears to be hanging on to Mr. Srinivasan coattails. He doesn't realize Mr. Suman C. Raman,
at least... loyal friend.
Yeah, he may be your friend, but he's among...
I have, in fact, my stand has been vindicated 100%.
You're sounding like Lalit Modi.
Conflict of interest was morally wrong, but legally clause 6.2.4 was protecting them. If 6.2.4 was removed, then it becomes unsustainable. That has been vindicated by the court. The second, just 1 minute, Arnab, 1 minute. The second part again is, as far as the overall judgment is concerned, what is the landmark part of it is that the BCCI performs a public function. So I think that is really very, very significant. As far as Mr. Srinivasan is concerned, this judgment is a conditional judgment. It says that if, as long as he
did
continues
Srinivasan
to
cheat the Indian cricket team?
He cannot contest.
No, don't lecture. One second, Sumant, you know what? You get into this analysis of the...
1 minute, 1 minute.
No, one second.
Arnab,
be very direct.
1 minute. Please read the judgment. Please read the judgment.
Sumant, please, there are others on the panel. Can we have them on the screen?
As long as such commercial interests exist.
Sir, you know, why do you want to... Why all this humbug? Why don't you come straight to the point?
So he's got to give up ownership of CSK.
Mr. Suman C. Raman, till yesterday you were supporting Srinivasan. I don't know why. Logic was not on your side. Reason was not on your side.
Arnab, again you're getting
Fact
the point
was
wrong.
not on your side.
Please go back and play your own tapes. Please go back and play your own tapes.
So this
is exactly what I said, and I'm continuing to maintain it today.
Can I have the others on the screen?
It was wrong. Legally, it was protected under the clause. Today, the Supreme Court has struck down the clause.
Mr. Raman, I remember what you said.
You're welcome to play the tape.
There are people like you. I'm sorry to say, I don't want to say, but you're sycophantic to the establishment. You don't give a damn for the Indian cricket fan.
Please play the tapes back. Please play the tapes back.
Please realize you are supporting Srinivasan.
I'm still maintaining the same thing.
You may.
As far as Mr. Srinivasan is concerned, the court has not found him guilty.
There you are. There.
Conflict. Arnab, please.
Okay, one sec. Shailendra.
The court has not found him guilty. Let me. That is a fact.
Suman, give us a second here.
The court has said there is conflict of interest.
I have a question for the two administrators on the panel.
As long as the conflict of interest continues.
Relax, Sumant.
I think your point is done and dusted. Now to the two administrators in the panel, Lalit in particular. Lalit, you're a very wise businessman, phenomenal experience, across the world in business.
Stop massaging his ego.
When you took over the IPL, you obviously read the constitution of BCCI, and you obviously realized the fact they're just not windows, there are doors wide open, and mosquitoes not, but alligators got into Indian cricket. You were well aware of that. I'm sure even Mr. Srinivasan was. But at no point you felt to flag off the entire country. You dashed the hopes of 1 billion people today. Look at the position that you're in. Look at the position Srinivasan in. And what has happened? You've destroyed the credibility of a national sport. You've destroyed the hopes and dreams of 1 billion people who follow the sport. Why? I mean, are you serious? Didn't you read the constitution, realize that's a compromised constitution? Of course, the Supreme Court verdict is fantastic, but in every crisis there's an opportunity. We should rewrite the constitution. We should not permit another professional or a politician to ever do what...
But that's what...
Excuse me, how has the cricket fan been cheated? Can somebody please explain?
Are you serious?
Oh my God.
No, 1 minute. 1 minute. We're going on with this dramatic... A billion people have been cheated. A billion people have been cheated.
This is allegedly...
Please, 1 minute. If a team has underperformed, the fan is cheated.
Sumant, just 1 second. I have to pinch myself now to believe. No, 1 second. I have to pinch myself to believe that a person called Sumant. Sumant, I'm sure that Srinivasan will call you after the program and tell you well done.
No, Arnab.
But 1 second.
Please explain it to me. You please explain it to me. How has the cricket fan...
Okay,
just let me... deals done in the BCCI.
Okay.
People have been corrupt. That is a separate issue.
No.
You cannot say that the cricket fan has been cheated because of the dirty deed.
Mr. Raman, now have you made your point? 1 second. Do you need to keep repeating yourself like a broken record? Mr. Raman, please. Please now you make your point.
I am not.
There are other panelists because Charu Sharma is a reticent man, because Shishir Hatangani is a decent man, because Saad Bin Jan is a restrained man, and because Atul Vasan waits for his turn does not mean they are all run over by you. He says tonight, Shishir, any of you please come in, otherwise Sumant Raman will not let any of you in. He says tonight, and I really think at this point I will start opening the phone lines. So one panelist says, how is the cricket fan being cheated? It's absurd. You take the cricket fan out of cricket, there is no cricket in this country. How dare you say, how is the cricket fan being cheated? Shishir can answer that, but I'll give you one reason why he's being cheated. Please, Mr. Raman, I heard you. You ask a question, let me answer, and let us steer to the others. The cricket fan has been cheated because the IPL has been proven to be a cesspool of corruption, vested interests, fraud, betting and fixing. And it has proven to be one despite a series of warnings that had they been heated to would have prevented the mess we are in right now. Shishir Hatangani's turn to respond. How is the cricket fan being cheated?
Yes, Arnab, very quickly, Mr. Raman probably knows it's very easy to be gagged in the BCCI to say something or not to say something. So I request him to be gagged for a moment. I'll just say one thing. I'm a cricket fan. I feel cheated. How am I cheated? I'm watching games that are fixed. I'm watching games that are not in the spirit of the game. I'm watching teams that have been rigged in terms of the auction. I feel cheated. Am I not entitled to feel like that, Mr. Raman? Am I not entitled to feel like that?
Sir, which teams have been, which matches have been fixed? Which matches have been fixed? I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm not able to understand this.
Which auction wasn't fixed?
Which match has been fixed?
Not fixed.
Has the court given a verdict saying a match has been fixed? I'm sorry, I think I've read some of the judgment. I didn't read anywhere where the judgment says matches were fixed.
Mr. Raman, you're living on which planet? Neptune or Mars? The question is on...
I'm sorry, I'm not aware of it. At least it's not in the judgment.
I'll tell you. See, there are people... Watch Saad Bin Jung now. To Sumant Srinivasan.
Game holier than thou.
Why are you screaming so much? Why don't you look at the judgment? Why don't you allow the Supreme Court to tell you? The Supreme Court has said the game to be played in pristine form, instill integrity. Why would the Honorable Supreme Court go and use those words? Unless cricket was cheated, for heaven's sake. Cricket has been cheated, the fan has been cheated, we have been cheated, and we've been cheated by the players and the administrators both.
Sir,
and the problem is...
Sir, please.
Let him complete. Saad, continue.
The problem is that you stop the money.
There has been corruption in the BCCI. There has been corruption in the BCCI. Like there is corruption in every other body in this country. That needs to be corrected.
You don't want to listen. Why have you been? How badly have you been compromised that you're shouting so much? Why don't you listen to what we have to say? Stop the money, Arnab. Stop the money, and the Cosy Club will completely fall apart.
Go ahead.
And the Honorable Supreme Court has actually addressed this issue. The fact is that the first law of the game is the spirit of the law. And the Supreme Court has addressed that. And throw out the professional, throw out the money. India cricket was never designed for this money. The more money you have without the checks and balances...
Tell Lalit Modi that. Tell Lalit Modi that.
That's going to be a problem.
Tell Lalit Modi that.
And I have a question for Lalit over here.
Go ahead.
I have a
question to Lalit, please. Saad Bin Jung, ask the question. Ask the question.
For Lalit. Lalit, now the thing is that last time we were here or together on Times Now, my respect for you went up because you said that if you were wrong and you were wrong and you apologized for that and you were willing to make the correction. Today I'm asking you, what were those mistakes, Lalit? For the sake of India, for the sake of Indian cricket, tell us what those mistakes were that you were apologizing for. Just tell us that.
The mistake that I was apologizing for was very clearly sorry, I can't hear you.
Go ahead, Lalit, you understood the question.
No, I couldn't hear him, the question. Can you repeat it again?
The question is, I'll repeat it. Straightforward question, time for admissions. Charu Sharma is smiling. Let's see if he makes the admission. He says, last time you came, you apologized for things that you had done wrong. I want to know from you, he says, what you did wrong. We want to know. On the Newshour now, what have you done wrong? Where is your guilt coming from?
My guilt is coming from the fact that I agreed to be party to the, endorsing the clause that was allowed 6.2.4 to come in.
Good.
And that was I said very clearly that we didn't stand up to that, and we should have stood up to that.
Stand up. You were part of the plot.
Mr. Modi,
I wasn't part of the plot. It was done. According to the Supreme Court, they are, and I believe they are right now. But
really?
They want when
really? And in 1 second, Lalit Modi, in that case, in 2009, back in 2009,
but they went earlier, and
back
now
in 2009, Lalit Modi.
That is
back in 2009, if I may be precise, June of 2009. A month after the second IPL was won by the former Hyderabad franchisee Deccan Chargers on May 24th. Refresh your memory, start thinking, Mr. Modi. Former ICC anti-corruption unit chief Paul Condon sounded a very serious warning bell, didn't he, Charu Sharma, when he said, quote, the IPL brings with it the biggest threat in terms of corruption in the game since the days of cricket in Sharjah. You and Srinivasan got together to do nothing. You were upset with Lord Condon for speaking against the IPL.
I got together with the ICC anti-corruption unit, and we made sure that there was no corruption. And yes, I was with Paul. We discussed this with Paul, that because all the people in the underworld and the betting mafia were trying to get close to the players. It was my report.
What really? No, 1 second. Who from the underworld was trying to get close to the players? Stop there. Name the person.
No,
name the person now.
I don't want to discuss.
No, why don't you want to disclose? No, 1 second. Krishna Swami, he said something there. Charu Sharma, you heard me correct? Charu Sharma, he said, no, 1 second. Lalit Modi, stop there. You just said that people from the underworld were trying to get close to the players. Who? Name it now. Stop right there. Semicolon, comma, full stop. Stop. Krishna Swami, should he name who the players are? Who the underworld was trying to get close to?
Of course.
Name it.
No, I mean, that's a fantastic, that's an amazing revelation.
Name it. Go further, Lalit. Go further, Lalit.
Go and answer.
Go answer. I want the answer from you.
Not for me to name on the show.
You just said so.
I've already been sued by many players.
Come on, this is ridiculous.
Because that's the job of the ICC. The
Charu
ICC
Sharma,
anti-corruption unit should be naming the players and taking action.
Atul, do you think Lalit Modi should reveal who the members of the underworld were and which players they were in touch with? If members of the underworld were in touch with players, you should tell me who.
It's for the
Arnab, we have gone away.
You should tell me who.
Court to decide the names, not you and I.
What's he got to lose?
Yes.
Why don't you announce the names?
What's he got to lose? You know, I mean, I find it strange or a bit comic here that people who were just warming the seat a minute ago and they vacated it by choice or forcibly suddenly try to cleanse the very same seat immediately, cleanse the system. And we all come back to the same point. You know, if you've got names, what have you got to hide now? Everything is out in the open. We know what is wrong with it. You know, Guru said the cricket is destroyed. Cricket is not destroyed. Hindsight, I can agree with Mr. Modi on the libel issue.
Unfortunately, I can't. I can only give the names. I can only give the names to the committee and to the anti-corruption. I can't name them. I'm sorry.
Charu Sharma. One second. Hold on. Charu Sharma. No, 1 second. Here is Lalit Modi from London, says I am vindicated, says on Newshour at 40 minutes past 9. He says,
I'm still sitting here. I'm not moved away. I'm still sitting here.
Good. Of late, some people have been running away from my programs. The question is simply this, Charu Sharma.
I'm not. I sit here on your program all the way through.
Thank you. I hope it's not glue that's making you stick there. The question is this. The question, Charu Sharma, should Lalit Modi tell us which members of the underworld were in touch with which players? Because if he knew it and he was quiet, there should be a case against him.
Of the Mumbai police.
If anybody has any information that can clean the rot, stem the rot, please do come out with it. Everybody is begging for it. But allow me a few seconds to give you a very short history lesson. The whole thing started when the Indian Cricket League started out. The board suddenly realized, oh my God, here is a whole lot of money running away for a league that we don't support. So to cut the ICL out was the IPL born. Basically, the IPL is the official ICL. So now, of course, everything's official. There is no doubt in anybody's mind that Lalit, of course, was the commissioner and the man in charge. He was taking all the decisions. Many of the other constituents of the board didn't understand what was going on. It was beyond their scope. So he had a free run. There's no question about it. Time was very short, unholy in terms of just about 3 months to organize a league. I remember somebody coming from the US and saying that once everything was ready, all lights are green, we should have 2 years to do a league. Here, you're planning everything in 3 months. Because of that time frame, the short time frame, a lot of mistakes were made. They're all coming back now to bite the board. The truth is that the lack of transparency, the lack of accountability and external scrutiny has allowed the board to say, well, if there's any problem, just sweep it under the carpet. And that's where the fan has been cheated. Shishir mentioned about the fact that people think and feel that no action is ever taken to clean anything up. And that is a central problem here. And if that was done earlier, the Supreme Court would not have done what it's done today to sort of deliver a whole flurry of punches. I'm glad they didn't pull too many.
Yeah.
So this lack of transparency is the biggest problem. It allows people to feel, hey, we can get away with anything.
And they still feel they can get away with anything. Shailendra, let me just get Bimal Soni in because
yeah, Arnab, can I just add, please?
Watch. Let then Bimal Soni come in. See, Bimal Soni, which is the Rajasthan Cricket Association. He's also been part of the Cosy Club. He's part of the Cosy Club. I want an insider's view.
Condition, it's such a heady feeling, the adulation and the power which comes with controlling people, and Mr. Modi has been through that. And, it's just bad karma, it happens. Anybody in that situation will feel that and try and do whatever he can do without realizing what is right or wrong.
No,
and
Mr. Vasan, you make it look very innocent. You make it look very innocent, which it is not.
This is what has happened.
No, Mr. Vasan.
No.
Good attempt.
No, I'm just telling you what is
good attempt. You are basically saying Lalit Modi has bad karma, poor guy. Was trying to do a good job.
And this is the bad
For God's sake, you know that Lalit Modi was very much part of the Cosy Club.
Yeah.
And today he is speaking out only because he was thrown out. That's the only reason. Name one person, Bimal Soni, barring Lalit Modi, who was thrown out in 2010, who has spoken out from within the system against Srinivasan. The fact of the matter is there has been no opposition against Srinivasan from within the board. In September 2013, he was re-elected as president of the BCCI unopposed. His influence is high. And today people like Sumansi Raman say, so what? Why is the Indian cricket fan complaining? That there be corruption, deceit, rot, fixing. But why should the Indian cricket fan complain? Mr. Bimal Soni, please.
Arnab, we have deviated from the debate today. What I would like to say, please listen.
Absolutely.
First of all, what one other channel of yours is speaking that if he leaves CSK, if CSK is sold to some other buyer, he will contest the election in 6 weeks' time. And I'm telling you, if CSK is sold by Srinivasan within this week, he is eligible to contest the election after 6 weeks.
Sure.
Because I have not read the report. Okay. I wish I could talk to Mr. Harish Salve.
Then this is the biggest irony. It is blasphemous.
I am telling you, let's discuss that. Let's not discuss 2008 and 2009.
Okay, so we discussed that.
And let me also come back.
No, 1 second.
2008 was a different era. 1 minute, Arnab, let me finish. I distinctly remember when Lalit Modi wanted to open the IPL league, he could not get 8 franchises properly. He went personally to Mukesh Ambani, he went personally to Shah Rukh Khan, and he got some of his friends to involve. And that is how this IPL was started. But there should have been checks and balances. There should have been control, because it was made very, as Charu has said, the league was done in 3 months' time. There are bound to be problems in constitution, bound to be problems in the league. But instead of giving credit to your so-called Cosy Club, I know how much Lalit Modi spent in building the league. But at the same
stop
time,
massaging Lalit Modi's ego on television,
and this Srinivasan,
Sir,
Mr. Srinivasan
if
was opposing the league. But at the same time, hold on, let me finish.
Mr. Soni, I give you one example. I give you one example of the Cosy Club. Mr. Srinivasan, 1 second. First of all, what your argument is that the Indian cricket fan should be grateful.
Is that Lalit has done mistakes, but those could be corrected. Instead of discussing 5 years from today.
Okay, so Mr. Soni, have you finished?
And
because have you,
please
Mr. Soni, have you finished?
Business of
Mr.
today.
Soni, have you finished? Can I go to the other panelists? Can I have them on the screen, please? Mr. Soni, you know, if there's one person who has moved away from the subject, it is you. If there is one person who has moved away from the subject, it is entirely you. This cozy self-serving club is something you don't want to discuss. This concept of a cozy self-serving club, Mr. Soni, please, is not something that is conjured out of thin air, is it, Krishnaswamy? The Supreme Court has mentioned it in its previous observations in this case. Consider what it says in the context of Srinivasan's conflict of interest. The cozy club is there because the Supreme Court itself did not see it fit to assign the responsibility of penalizing them teams to the BCCI. The Supreme Court of India has no faith, zero faith on the cricket board, Mr. Srinivasan. And despite this, there are people who say, where's the cozy club? Krishnaswamy, is there any doubt about the cozy club and its existence as a self-serving group?
There never was. There never was.
There are a dozen people who have
the club always existed. It has existed not in the past 10 years. It has existed for the past 50 years, maybe even more. Maybe right from the time when cricket actually, say maybe 1932, you know. I mean, it's always been there. I mean, every official who has been there has gone through so much of, you know, they go through, it's like, you know, first you play in school, then you play for the state, then you play for the zone, then you play for the nationals. Same way, the officials start from the bottom, at the local level, national levels, international level, they keep going. It's like an ascension to power. And finally, I come right to the top, and when I come to the top, I want the chair, and I want to take it home also, and I won't allow you to sit on it.
Yeah, and
now, if it is taken away, then I want to clean it.
Yeah, and by the way, Chris Srikanth, for example, Cozy Club, Lalit Modi was part of it in 2009. Chris Srikanth is the chief of the selectors for the national team. He's also brand ambassador for Chennai Super Kings in the IPL.
That's my question. The fact of the matter is that now that the entire country, forget about the sort of legal debate.
Mr. Bindra's son was part of the Kings 11 Punjab team.
That's
Saurav Ganguly was holding a post in the BCCI when he was captain of Pune Warriors. Hello, there are so many
what's your point?
who have a conflict of interest or had a conflict of interest.
Are you saying that this is
the point is, Arnab, it is welcome that the court has decided that this conflict of interest is not acceptable. There are, whether it is Ravi Shastri or Sunil Gavaskar, Rahul Dravid, so many people will fall under that clause later at some point of time.
Mr. Srinivasan did not know that owning a team while he's the president of the board was incorrect. He did not know to appoint the chairman selector as an employee of his company is incorrect. It wasn't. Mr. Srinivasan didn't have the presence of mind to realize that Mr. Dhoni shouldn't be working in his company as an employee while he's the captain of all the formats of cricket. Are you serious? And are you still advocating the fact the Supreme Court within the law cannot punish Mr. Srinivasan? Fair enough. Agreed. But a billion people don't understand that? I mean, is this the way you want the sport to be run into the future?
No, Sumant Raman's argument is basically this. 1 second, Mr. Raman, let others speak.
No,
1 second, Mr. Raman. Don't. 1 second, please, Raman. Please, don't try and push your point, only your point on the program. There are others too. Fact of the matter is, you want to talk about Cozy Club, let's take names.
Okay.
Let's take names tonight. Ravi Shastri.
Absolutely.
Sunil Gavaskar.
There are
1 minute, Mr. Raman. Don't say absolutely. Don't say absolutely. Don't say absolutely. Don't say absolutely. They have denied there is any conflict of interest even though they are on the payroll of the Indian Cricket Board as commentators while commenting on India's series overseas, not just at home. Could they have taken an independent view? Do their contracts with the BCCI present the perception that they could take an independent view as commentators? Is that not conflict of interest? If they were indeed independent commentators, I'm asking you, why did Ravi Shastri and Sunil Gavaskar not speak out against N Srinivasan all this while? Has Sunil Gavaskar ever criticized Srinivasan for his conflict of interest?
Absolutely.
No, what are you saying absolutely then? That's how the cricket fan has been cheated. They have been cheated
This
in
is exactly
many ways.
the question I have been asking.
Now you change your position. Shishir Hatangadi, Krishnaswamy, Charu Sharma.
My point is,
Shishir Hatangadi. No, because you began by saying, how is the cricket fan being cheated? 1 second.
I just love the way Suman, he argues, The moment you throw back something at him, he says, absolutely. And then he agrees with you. He'll start taking a few more names because he also committed murder. That's why I committed murder, so it's fine. I mean, you commit murder. If I've committed murder, both of us are acquitted.
No.
Because both of us committed murder.
Hello, excuse me. Have we? How many Newshour debates have been held? Asking about the conflict of interest of the other players.
Watch.
Excuse me, Mr. Krishnasan,
you know what? I think even Arnab would have lost count about the number of debates we've had on the conflict of interest.
May I get Saad? For example,
it's been always on Mr.
The conflict of interest has been the main discussion from day one.
From day one, we have been saying break the Cosy club. You see, 1 second.
But it's always been in the focus.
May I, with your permission, make a point? And can Saad come in, for God's sake? The BCCI is a Cosy club. You want to know because the Indian cricket captain MS Dhoni, who is also the captain of Chennai Super Kings, is also the vice president of India Cements, a company owned by Srinivasan, who at the time of Dhoni's appointment is the president of the BCCI. For God's sake, what do you want to know? It's a comedy show.
Exactly.
It's a comedy show.
Part of India Cements when he was playing against Chennai Super Kings for the
Please, Mr. Raman, and can I please have Saad responding to you? Yes,
again, we are bringing the link back to Mr. Srinivasan.
Cosy Club, Arnab, Cosy Club are all those people who have taken the money, who may take big sums of money, but have lost their voice. That is exactly what the Cosy Club is. And beyond that, there is nothing. They've completely lost their voice. They don't have an opinion. And they are taking home tons and tons of money. And that's exactly my point when I first said, stop the money and the Cosy Club will fall apart. That's how it has to be.
No, Saad, the Indian cricket fan has been taken for a ride. I'm taking a few callers live now. And you want to know how the Indian cricket fan has been taken for a ride, and you expect the same Indian cricket fan to come back tomorrow and watch the IPL. The cricket fan has been taken for a ride, Charu, because he put his faith in an institution that runs Indian cricket. And its former president has a conflict of interest. Its IPL team officials have committed sporting fraud. There is lack of transparency of this, which is a comment made by the Supreme Court. Series of players are in the dock for spot fixing in the IPL.
This is
right? And one of them, I'm sorry, some of them are rumored to be top Indian national stars.
But why the names are not out?
Why are the names not out?
I don't understand. Why the sentiment from the Supreme Court for the World Cup?
Why are the names out?
Really, this
why are the names not out?
1 second, we'll get everything out. Don't worry, Mr. Raman.
Why are the names not out?
Yes, Charu.
Oh, hang on here. Suman.
Charu. Suman, 1 second. Let Charu come in.
Another point. Just another point about 2 degrees off. Saad mentioned it. And of course, a man who knows a lot about it mentioned it, Shalender as well. It's not power so much. Yes, there's there. But there's another 5-letter word, money. And really, a lot is that's the cause of a lot of trouble. Because the board keeps saying or thinking that if they can sweep everything under the carpet, cricket will not suffer and cricket will carry on and cricketers will not suffer. But the truth is that the money may dry up, the money may run away. 40 other sports in India would be delighted if that happens, but of course not the BCCI. So to protect the inflow of money, everything is swept under the carpet. If they could only realize that, don't worry, the game will go on. If the IPL crashes today, it can come up in another form. It can rise like a phoenix a year from now, 2 years from now in a much cleaner format. So let's not get carried away about the fact that, cricketers will suffer, the game will suffer. It will rebound. It's a huge game. It's a fabulous game in India. Millions play it. It will always do well. We just need to clean it up once and for all.
Exactly.
Now he says exactly. Now you say exactly. You want me to give you more examples? Gulu, for example. Now he says exactly. Suman Sriraman now says exactly. You forgot? Did Suman Sriraman ever open his mouth when Mohinder Ramanath...
Nobody is disputing that the game needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah, so...
Arnab, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Gulu, there is a man called Mohinder Ramanath. There is a man called Mohinder Ramanath.
To be corrected.
Mohinder Amarnath Gulu, your cricket fan cheated Mohinder Amarnath, who claimed that the selectors had taken a unanimous decision to replace a man called Mahendra Singh Dhoni as captain in 2012. Who stepped in to overrule them? N Srinivasan. You want to ask more about how the cricket fan has been cheated, Gulu?
So why did the selectors not resign in protest? How many selectors resigned in protest?
That's the Cosy club.
Gulu. You see, just a minute.
Because they were all part of the Cosy club.
Because they're the Cosy club.
That I want to make a couple of points
that's
here.
It.
Arnab, excuse me. Sumant, excuse me. The point is that Lalit Modi was removed in 2010 by the BCCI officials for alleged corrupt practices. Okay, a new set of people came in to run the IPL. That set of people have now been indicted by the Supreme Court. Now, you know, if you bring in a third set of people, where is the guarantee that they'll be any cleaner than the previous two? That is one question. Number two, you know, the Modi camp is currently gloating and appearing on your channel and rubbing their hands in glee.
Yeah.
But heaven forbid if that same Modi camp comes back, it will be like going from the frying pan to the fire. And the third point I'd like to make quickly here is, the Supreme Court has finally stripped the BCCI of its sacred cow status of autonomy. Now, if this Modi camp makes a backdoor entry and a coup and takes over the board, they
which is the Modi camp? Name them.
Price.
Which Modi camp? You mean Sharad Pawar?
The people who have appeared on your channel over the last few hours gloating over the Supreme Court verdict. I named them earlier. The people who have office bearers when the clause was changed in 2008.
Yeah, so then
My
what
point
happens
is that whoever is the new dispensation, the new dispensation will now find themselves thoroughly exposed, because it has taken the Supreme Court 18 months, countless hours and countless crores of rupees to come to this stage where they have now forced transparency down the throat of the BCCI. And the BCCI in cricket will never be the same again in India, thank God. But the point is, whoever comes back and whoever is gloating over their so-called victory is going to pay a very heavy price if they do grab power, because they will now be under scrutiny and they will be forced to be transparent.
Yeah, you see.
So it's a Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah, you see.
Srinivasan will be back.
Yeah, Srinivasan can be back. Sharad Pawar will probably try to be BCCI chief. And I'm sorry to say it, who really cares or gives a damn for the Indian cricket fan? We got two callers tonight. Who cares for the Indian cricket fan?
Look, it's all musical chairs.
Absolutely.
Musical chairs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This Cosy club overrules all those who take bold decisions, all those who are independent.
This Cosy club is now under scrutiny of the highest court of the land and under public scrutiny.
Whoever falls in line gets rewarded. Ravi Shastri is today team director of the Indian cricket team till the World Cup. He was the person who praised Srinivasan becoming the IPL chief in June last year. He said, if you want my answer, it's a very good choice. When he was appointed ICC chairman, despite the Supreme Court stripping off his powers as BCCI chief, he said, Ravi Shastri says, I don't think you should jump the gun. You see, this is a whole group of people out there.
I just want to draw your attention to
the same person called Lalit Modi the Moses of cricket.
Precisely. So who cares for the cricket fan? And people like Sumant Raman come and ask on television, how is the cricket fan being cheated? HV Suvarna, 2 callers tonight from Mumbai. He's a manager. HV Suvarna, please. Sumant Raman, 1 minute.
I'm sorry. The context has to be explained.
You will have to be sorry for what you say. Surely, I'm glad you're sorry.
At all.
I want my caller. Mr. Suvarna is calling. He's been waiting for a long time. Mr. Suvarna, good evening.
Conflict of interest.
Good evening, Mr. Suvarna. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Goswami.
Yes, good evening, sir.
For giving me an opportunity. I feel as a cricketer, I have been cheated. As a cricket-loving public, I feel I have been cheated. Why not fix the criminal liability on this? Why not fix the criminal liability on this? Why not fix the criminal liability on this matter?
I agree.
It has larger
Shishir,
ramifications.
Shishir, what do you think? You want to answer Mr. Suvarna? Let's Shishir Adangani respond to you, sir.
Yes, let Mr. Attagadi, why not fix the criminal liability?
Voice the opinion of the nation and the cricket lover. I mean, we'll have the Sundar Ramans, and today, mind you, is a bad day for Ramans at work, all Ramans are in trouble, but that's okay. The fact is that this is what the public is talking about. This is what the public is saying in terms of what they've expected from the administrators, from the game, and this is what it has come to.
That's right.
Look, the very fact that the Supreme Court is telling you where you stand should be enough of an indication that, look, we are up shit creek. But nobody's prepared to accept it. We are trying to look for 2 bushels of chaff in 2 grains of rice. It doesn't work that way. Accept reality. That's the first thing we should do. Accept reality. That's when you can take the game forward. If you don't do that, you'll start picking at small things to save yourself. And this is somewhere that you will drown.
I
think time will come for the public to come out and tell you that.
I think maybe
Srinivasan, it just gets a soft
little rap on the knuckles. Yeah. Neeraj is a businessman. He's calling in from Delhi tonight, and Neeraj is on the subject of the Indian cricket fan cheated. Neeraj.
Mr. Gullu.
Yeah, go ahead, Neeraj.
Mr. Gullu.
Yeah, question is for Gullu. Yeah, Neeraj is, go ahead.
You are being so defensive about Mrs. Srini. Are you catching me?
About?
Mr. Kullu, are you catching me?
About what?
You are being so defensive about
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah, go
Srinivasan.
ahead.
What?
Mr. Srinivasan, you are being so defensive about him.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he was being defensive at all, Neeraj. I don't know if you're speaking to Gullu or to
Somebody is
Mr.
watching the wrong channel.
Mr. Gullu, I'm talking to Mr. Gullu.
No, I think then you got it wrong, Neeraj. He was not being defensive at all. He's been criticizing him through the entire program. Let's move on. Well, 1 second. Well, I think he got it wrong out there. The question goes to everyone tonight. I think that viewer there was confused. Is the IPL sustainable after this? Has the Indian cricket fan been cheated? In which ways do you think he's cheated? Can the IPL be sustainable after what we've heard from the Supreme Court? The fate of many players hangs in balance. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to Srinivasan, Meiyappan, Kundra and Sundar C. Raman, there are 9 cricket players. 9 cricket players whose roles are under scrutiny. These players have not been named, Shailendra, yet.
Why are the names not
No,
out?
but their roles are under scrutiny. It's not just officials whose roles are under a cloud. Lalit Modi said tonight, Charu, that the underworld was in touch with certain members of the IPL playing squads. And then he just stopped. He clammed up. I think he should speak out now because these players are adored by millions of people, Charu. These players are adored. These players are followed. I think that's the most important point tonight.
Arnab,
Charu, please. The question is to Charu.
There is evidence against the players.
The question is to Charu, Suman.
For India?
Well, yeah.
No, but do you think
the course,
the court will
the
allow
problem
them to
has
play for
been
India if there is serious
Suman,
evidence
please,
against
just
them?
Suman, pipe down. The problem is omerta, the code of silence. And that happens because nobody wants to shake this bandwagon. Now, I say again that if 2 teams are taken away from the IPL, the other 6 are perfectly good enough and 2 other teams will come. The fabric of cricket will continue to live on and grow in India, but not at the expense of lack of transparency and lack of action taken. I think all those who now say that there is nothing wrong with Indian cricket could possibly be in contempt of the Supreme Court's decision because they, in their infinite wisdom, have come out with a fabulous judgment or a fabulous set of judgments, and I think it's amply clear to everybody that there is too much rot. And it has to be cleaned. If cricket has to suffer for a year, 2, 3, let it. It will bounce back.
Okay, Charu Sharma, and to all my panelists, I have to go to my next political debate. I thank you very much for joining me on this big story on the Newshour tonight.